I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel. So there's 5 games left in the regular season. Just 5 games to determine who has the best record in the American League to get home field advantage to the American League playoffs. So the name of the franchise is the Bronx Knights. The Knights have been wedged into the American League West. They've taken the place of the Houston Astros, a created franchise. As you can see, there's only 5 games left in the season. It's late September. The Knights are 103-54. They've already clinched the division. They have a 15-game lead with only 5 games left. The only thing left to play for, honestly, is who gets home field advantage. The Tampa Bay Rays, the division winner of the American League East, has 104 wins. So I'm 1 game back with 5 games left to play. So I have to make up that game, otherwise I don't have home field advantage. Other than that, it's just winding out the string and getting ready for the playoffs. So let's jump into the next game on the schedule. So this is it. It's 3 games, 2 games left against Seattle, then a 3-game series against Texas, and the season is over and the playoffs begin. So lost the first game 8-6 to Seattle. This is the second game in the matchup. Last start of the season for Eli Ramos, going for win number 22. He is the ace of the staff. Play game. Okay. Play full game. We are the home team. Yankee Stadium, classic Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. As I said before, it's Eli Ramos, 21-5. Everybody looks good. Let's go. Also, as you can see, the second baseman of the New York Yankees, second Freudian slip. Second baseman of the Bronx Knights is Chris Ramos with 63 home runs to lead the American League. How many more can he hit before the season ends? It's another interesting thing to look for. So, welcome to a broadcast of Major League Baseball as the Seattle Mariners visit the Bronx Knights here in classic Yankee Stadium. On the mound for the Knights is Eli Ramos, making his 32nd and final start of the season. 21-5 with a 3.66 earned run average. 21 wins, leads the American League. And he is the odds-on favorite for the win the American League Cy Young Award. And he will face, to lead off this ball game, Shane Victorino. 290, 18 homers, 63 runs batted in. First pitch of the ball game from Eli. At the knees, strike 1. Bronx Knights 103-54. First place in the West. That's Chris Ramos at second base and Michael O'Rourke in left field.
First pitch, 7-11.
Deep drive to center by Victorino. Back goes the center fielder Max Luklich. Makes the catch for the first out of the ball game. Starting lineup for the Mariners: Shane Victorino's in center. Drew Mendoza is the DH. Fernando Tatis Jr. is the shortstop. Gregory Polanco's in right. Freddie Freeman's at first. Andrew Benintendi's in left. Isan Diaz is the second baseman. Nicky Lopez is at third. And Israel Pineda bats ninth and plays catcher. Drew Mendoza hitting .298, 21 homers, 86 runs batted in. Steps up to the plate with 1 out here in the top of the first. Late on the fastball, strike 1. Pops it up, short center field. There is the second baseman. Ramos makes the catch. 2 outs.
Batting first, the shortstop, Fernando Tatis.
So the cover boy, Fernando Tatis Jr., 272, 33 homers, 94 runs batted in this fictional universe. He is the cover boy for the next version of this game. Quick line drive to the only man stationed on the right side of the infield, and that side is retired. Half inning gone by here in the Bronx. Seattle nothing. Bronx Knights coming to bat. On the mound for the Seattle Mariners, Max Fried. Making his final start of the season. Record is 10-8 with 3.74 earned run average. And leading off for the Bronx Knights, Max Lukelich, 314, 4 homers, 42 RBIs. He also has 39 stolen bases. Switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty, Max Fried. Pitch is high, ball 1. So the Mariners are in possession of one of the wild card spots in the American League, but obviously the division is a bit long over. So this is possibly a future playoff matchup. Fastball's outside, count is 2 balls and no strikes on Lukelich. Max was the starting center fielder for the American League in the All-Star game this season. That's a line drive up the middle, base hit, and the leadoff man for the Bronx Knights is on here at first with nobody out. Here's a replay, just a line drive up the middle. Next up is Don Mattingly. Before we go any further, options, gameplay, hitting difficulty All-Star, pitching difficulty All-Star. Donnie baseball. Breaking ball outside corner, strike 1. Mattingly's hitting .341, 24 homers, 107 RBIs. Plays first base for the Bronx Knights. Out in front of the slider, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Mattingly has 211 hits on the season. Lukelich leads off first. Pitches in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. He advances to second base easily, so now there's a runner in scoring position for Mattingly on the wild pitch by Fried. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Don Mattingly. Yanks the curveball foul down the right field line. Count will stay 1-2. Lukelich leads off second. Here's the pitch. Outside, count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Flares it to left. It jumps in there for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Lukelich. He will score. And it's an RBI bloop base hit by Don Mattingly here in the top of the first as the Bronx Knights take an early 1-0 lead. Let's look at the replay. Just blooped it over the head of the third baseman and into short left field. No chance for Benintendi to make the catch. And Max was running the whole way. So next up is Chris Ramos. 362, 63 home runs, 165 RBIs. All 3 lead the American League. He is the odds-on favorite to win the MVP in this season. First pitch to Ramos is low, ball 1. It's a switch hitter. He's batting from the right side against the lefty Fried. Mattingly leads off first. Still nobody out here in the first inning. And that ball is high. Back goes Benintendi to the track, reaching up on the warning track, makes the catch. He made a bid for 64, but just missed it. And that's the first out of the inning. Starting lineup for the Bronx Knights. Max Lukelich is at center. Don Mattingly's at first. Chris Ramos at second. Mike O'Rourke in left. Jacob Salazar is playing DH today. Benny LoCicero in right. Matt Saps is your shortstop. Matt Termini's at third. And Anthony Millo is batting ninth and playing catcher. Michael O'Rourke steps up to the plate, hitting .340 on the season. 36 home runs. Pitches at the knees, strike 1. Mattingly leads off first. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Curveball is low. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael has 196 hits on the season, so he's trying to get to that century mark. And that might bloop in there, but no, it will carry to the left fielder Benintendi for out number 2. So now there are 2 away here in the bottom of the first.
the designated hitter.
Next up is Jacob Salazar playing DH today. 323, 16 homers, 96 runs batted in. Hitting from the right side. And he hits it off the end of the bat. Easy play for the left fielder Benintendi. Busy inning for him in left field. The side is retired, but not before bloop base hit by Mattingly gives the Bronx Knights an early 1-0 lead. So, top of the second, Gregory Polanco steps up, hitting 305 to lead off for the Seattle Mariners. Pitches low from Eli Ramos, ball one. Polanco was an all-star in the, I guess, Pacific Coast League and has been called up recently to the major leagues. Just gets a piece of the fastball, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike on Polanco. Pulls it, grounder up the first base line. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he slices it into the seats, hits that netting down the first base line. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oh, he slices it the other way against the shift. Nobody home. And by the time the left fielder O'Rourke gets the ball back in, he's going to be a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning for Polanco. It's number 6. Basically, everyone was playing on the right side on the shift. He hit it the other way down the third base line, and nobody was home. So, next up is Freddie Freeman, left-handed hitter, batting .279, 21 homers, 73 runs batted in. Runner at second and nobody out. Here's the first pitch to Freeman. Lazy fly ball the other way. Easy play for O'Rourke. He makes the catch for out number 1. Defensive alignment for the Bronx Knights. In the outfield from left to right is O'Rourke, Lukalich, and LoCicero. And in the infield from left to right is Termini, Saps, Ramos, Mattingly at first with Anthony Millo behind the plate. Bronx Knights are second in the American League in fielding percentage. They have a very good defensive ball club. So next up is the left fielder Andrew Benintendi, .279, 23 homers, 80 runs batted in. Down and in, ball 1. Benintendi is in real life a member of the Boston Red Sox. High strike, inside corner, count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Swing and a miss, a split finger fastball, count as 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Circle change floated in there for strike 3, and there's 1 away. No, check that. That's the first strikeout of the game by Eli Ramos. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Caught him looking. So next up is Isan Diaz. 167, no homers, 2 RBIs. Obviously a September call-up from the minors. Misses inside with the fastball, 98 on the radar gun, ball 1. Slider in the strike zone. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. So it's 1-0 Knights lead here in the top of the second. Ramos is going for win number 22 in his final start of the season, here with 5 games left. 21 wins is already a career high, Ramos, in his career. Lazy fly ball to right center field. Back goes LoCicero. Makes the catch. We'll continue that in the next half inning. So after an inning and a half of baseball, Bronx Knights lead 1-0. We go to the bottom of the second. Up steps LoCicero, the right fielder. They're batting .299, 34 homers, 126 RBIs. Member of this year's All-Star squad. Left-handed hitter against the lefty Fried. Breaking ball inside corner. Strike one. Benny can't believe the call. Outside corner, strike two. Count as 2 balls. Count as no balls and 2 strikes on the right fielder. And he pulls it down the first baseline, foul. So Eli Ramos, the starting pitcher for the Bronx Knights, won 17 games twice in his career. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. It's strike 3. There's one away. That's the first strikeout by Max Fried. Here's the replay. It's the nasty slider. Next up is Matt Saps playing shortstop today. 312, 32 homers, 107 runs batted in. Way out in front of the curveball, strike one. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to the August Rookie of the Month. That's a line drive, but it will find its way to the right fielder. Gregory Polanco makes the catch for out number 2. So the third baseman, Matt Termini, steps up with 2 outs. He's hitting .313, 11 homers, 76 runs batted in. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. And he pulls the curveball down the left field line. Check that. Strike one. And it's a lazy fly ball to right. Polanco barely has to move. Makes the catch to retire the side. So at the end of 2 innings of baseball here in Classic Yankee Stadium, it's the Bronx Knights 1, Seattle Mariners 0. We go to the top of the third. Number 9 hitter Nicky Lopez steps up to the plate. Again, another replacement. Swings at the first pitch, flies it to shallow right center field. Luklich makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 away. So, wins leaders in the American League. As you can see, Eli Ramos is leading the league with 21 wins. His teammate is tied with Greg Maddux for second place with 19. So with 1 away here in the top of the third, Israel Pineda hitting a .199, 3 homers, 16 runs batted in, steps up to the plate. It's a number, slow roller, charging is the third baseman. Termini throws to first in time, 2 away. Nice play by Matt Termini. Didn't think he'd have enough time that making the transfer from glove to hand, but strong throw, and there are 2 out. So the lineup turns over. Shane Victorino steps up. He's 0 for 1. He flew out in the first. Finds it foul, strike 1. Breaking ball inside off the plate. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's a line drive the other way between short and third. That's a 2-out single for Shane Victorino. And he is 1 for 2. And the inning will continue.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
So next up is Drew Mendoza, the DH. Popped out in the first. Here comes a pitch from Eli. And that's deep. The other way. It is high. It is far. It is gone. That's a 2-run home run from Drew Mendoza, home run number 22. And just like that, the Seattle Mariners here in the top of the third inning have a 2-1 lead at Classic Yankee Stadium. Hey there, RC. No, it's the wrong stream, but really been loving the vibe of Joe Barra. Wish I knew anything about baseball. Love the D&D. Well, Batley 1122, thank you so much for the kind words. I'm having a good time with the SKYRIM. Any kind words is much appreciated. I also enjoy baseball, obviously, so welcome to the stream. If you can, please, like and comment on some of the videos, some of the SKYRIM videos, and keep watching. Thanks so much. So, unfortunately here, the Bronx Knights are losing 2-1 here in the third inning. Just a two-run homer just occurred. Next up is Fernando Tatis Jr., who takes strike one at the knees. Really kind words. Thank you so much, Mr. Batley, Mrs. Batley. Either or somewhere in between. Breaking ball at the knees. Count falls to no balls and 2 strikes on Tatis Jr. Eli sets and delivers. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Side retired. Tatis Jr. doesn't believe it. But the Seattle Mariners take a 2-1 lead here after 2.5 innings of play, thanks to Drew Mendoza, and this, a 2-run homer. So here in the bottom of the third inning, up steps the number 9 hitter, Anthony Millo, hitting .256, 14 homers, 64 runs batted in to lead off against Max Fried. Max inherits a 1-run advantage, leading 2-1. Swing and a miss at the high fastball, Millo, and it's strike 1. That's a thick dude. Wow. Yeah, he's Anthony Millo is short and heavy, and he unfortunately resembles a good friend of mine in real life. I'm sure he wouldn't be thrilled about the representation, but it is what it is. So Anthony is up there. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch is low in the dirt. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it is a line drive right at the third baseman. Makes the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, number 39.
So next up, the leadoff man for the Bronx Knights, Max Luklich, who has a hit today already, a single and a run scored, steps up for his second plate appearance. Fried winds and deals. Pitches outside, ball 1. So Max has 190 hits on the season. Magic number's 200, but with only 5 games left, there's really no chance for him to reach that 200 mark. Pitches outside, count is 2 balls and no strikes. Seattle's leading 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Outside corner, strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's a slow roller to the second baseman. Fields throws across his body in time, 2 away. So Luklich is retired. Make that walk back to the dugout. Nice play by Diaz. Next up is Don Mattingly. He has an RBI single today. He's responsible for the only run on the scoreboard for the Knights today. And that's a line drive, but it will carry all the way to Polanco. He makes the catch to retire the side. So it's a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Knights. And at the end of 3 innings of play, it's Seattle 2, Knights 1. So we go to the top of the 4th inning. Up steps Gregory Polanco. Gregory has a hit already. Steps in there to lead off. Ramos deals. Inside corner, strike 1. As you can see, the shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side of the infield with only Matt Termini on the left, playing the percentages, expecting him to pull the ball. Breaking ball in there as well. Quickly, the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Polanco. And it's a ground ball to Matt Termini, the only man on the left side of the infield. He makes the play, and there is 1 out here in the 4th.
The first baseman, number 5.
Next up is Freddie Freeman, left-handed hitter, first baseman. He is 0 for 1. He plays for the Atlanta Braves in real life. In this fictional universe, he plays first base for the Seattle Mariners. In there, strike 1, 98 on the radar gun. And he pulls it foul for strike 2. Hard ground ball right up the middle, caught by the shortstop for out number 2. Nice, getting baseball lessons already with outfield reposition. Is it common to move heavy to one side? It's not common. It's called the shift, and it's done for statistical reasons. It's called baseball analytics, something they do very much in the last 10 years or so in baseball, where they look at the stats where a hitter naturally hits the ball and they reposition everybody to one side of the field or the other. It's called a shift. And sometimes it works and sometimes it backfires. So it's not used all that often, but they use it now with computers. They use computers to know where the hitters hit the ball more often. Back in the old days, before they used computer technology, they would just hit it. Oh yeah, it is. It is. The books are, anyway, it's called analytics, and it's taken over baseball. So Andrew Benintendi steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 1. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Count is no balls and 1 strike. Fouls off the fastball, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on the left fielder. Benintendi plays for the Boston Red Sox in real life. And he pulls it high and deep, but curling into the seats, out of play. So the count stays no balls and 2 strikes. Just gets a piece of the split-fingered fastball to stay alive. Count remains 0-2. Hello, Wicked Quixotic. Yes, I am streaming early today. I've had the day off. Figured I'd get on as early as possible. Welcome to the stream. Outside corner, strike 3 called, and the side is retired here in the top of the 4th. So after 3.5 innings of play, it's Seattle 2, Bronx 1. Thanks for dropping into the stream. I really appreciate it. So next up here in the bottom of the 4th is Chris Ramos. He's 0 for 1. Chris Ramos has 63 home runs on the season, which is a legendary number of home runs. The record in all of baseball history is 73 home runs in one season. First pitch is low, ball 1. And this time it is a line drive base hit to the outfield. It's not a home run, but it is a single. And Chris Ramos leads off with a hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Hits leaders in the American League. In all of the American League, Chris Ramos has 222 hits to lead. Don Mattingly, his teammate, is at number 3 with 211, as you can see. So next up is Michael O'Rourke. He's 0 for 1. Runner at first, nobody out. Inside off the plate, ball 1. Yes, love me some baseball. Getting to the end of this regular season of 162 games. And he skies it to left field. Long run for Benintendi, but he, at the near the line, makes the catch. 1 out. Runner does not advance, so O'Rourke is retired. I'm trying to get through the season so I can get to the playoffs, because that's where the whole goal of playing a Major League franchise season is to see if you can make the playoffs and then advance to the World Series. So after this is 4 games left. Jacob Salazar, the DH today, steps up from the left side. Check that, the right side. And he grounds it through the hole between third and short. It is a base hit for Salazar. And they have runners at first and second now, with only 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. So next up is the right fielder, Benny LoCicero, who struck out in his first at-bat. He has runner in scoring position at second. That is the tying run. Pitch is high, ball 1. Benny LoCicero has driven in 126. Taking home nights. Well, let's hope so. Runner at second in scoring position. 1 away here in the 4th. In there, high strike, but called a strike nonetheless. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. LoCicero's driven in 126 runs. Anything over 100 runs in a regular season is considered excellent for a Major League Baseball player. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. What's up? This is an early game. Hope you play tonight. I will. I'm just trying to get through this season. Line drive to the other way. It drops in there for a bloop single. Rounding third and heading home is the fielder. It's going to be a tie ball game here in the bottom of the fourth. An RBI double by Benny LoCicero. And the ball game is knotted at 2. The pitching coach of the Seattle Mariners takes the stroll out to the mound to have a conversation with the pitcher to calm him down. So 2 runners in scoring position now, with only 1 away here in the bottom of the fourth, as we have ourselves a brand new ball game. The manager of the Seattle Mariners wants an intentional walk to load the bases so that there'll be a force at every base, and they're going for what's called the double play. So free pass for Matthew Saps to pitch to the next hitter, which is Matthew Saps. I'm sorry, check that. Matthew Saps gets the pass to pitch to Matt Termini, the third baseman, who's 0 for 1. So bases loaded and only 1 out. Here comes the pitch from Fried. Inside, ball 1. Matt Termini's hitting .318 with runners in scoring position. High, 2 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put him. The bases are already full. If he walks him, it'll force in a run and give the lead to the Knights. It's a deep drive towards the left center field gap. Back goes Benintendi to the track, the wall, looking up. He makes the catch, tagging at third base and heading home is the runner. So it's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Matt Termini. He gets the job done, and the Knights are now leading 3-2. I mean, I'm sure he would have loved the 3-run homer, but he'll take it. So 2 down, runners at first and third here. 3-2 lead for the Knights. Now he'll need a hit to get that runner in. Pitches inside, ball 1. And it is a lazy fly ball to left center field. Benintendi makes the catch to retire the side, but they score twice here in the bottom of the fourth. And after 4 innings of play here at Classic Yankee Stadium, the Bronx Knights now lead 3-2. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It's nice to have some people watching the stream. Those of you that are unaware, the Outlander Show is a great stream. You know, if you have a chance, check them out as well. He does some Madden football. He does some first-person and third-person shooters. In any event, it's the top of the 5th inning. Seattle who? That's right, Batley. Seattle who? Up is Isan Diaz, 0 for 1. Eli Ramos sets and delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 98 miles an hour on the radar gun. So, count is 0-1. Out in front of the split finger fastball, count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Diaz. And it's a deep line drive towards right field. Back goes LoCicero over his head, bounces off the wall. Backing up is Lukulich. By the time he gets the ball back into the infield, it's a leadoff double for Isan Diaz, his 2nd of the season. Let's look at the replay. Just rocket off the pitch. Tries to chase it down, but makes it over his head. Backing up is the center fielder. So Diaz leads off with a double. Thank you for posting in the last video, Fantasy Man season tonight. We will see if we made it to playoffs. If we do, we are going. Well, I have no doubt that the Denver Broncos in your Madden season will win the football championship. So, Nicky Lopez flew out in the 3rd. He's 4 for 17 on the season. Only 17 at-bats this season. He's 0 for 1 today. He's a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Ground ball to the right side. Fields fires, got him. So 1 away here in the top of the 5th, but the runner moves to third base now with less than 2 outs, meaning that runner at third can score without the benefit of a base hit. Next up is Israel Pineda, who's 0 for 1. Grounded out in the 3rd. So he needs a strikeout in this at-bat in order to keep that runner from scoring. Line drive to right. LoCicero makes the throw. Tagging to the plate is not in time. It's a sacrifice fly for Pineda, and the score is tied at 3 here in the top of the 5th. So we have a brand new ball game, knotted at 3. Tried to throw him out from right field, but unsuccessful. So with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th, checked out the top of the 5th, Shane Victorino is up for his 3rd plate appearance. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Let's see. Deep drive to right center field. Check that. Yes, right center field. Luklich settles under it, makes the catch to retire the side. So the sac fly and an RBI ties the ball game. After 4.5 innings of play, this game is knotted at 3. So we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Leading off is Max Luklich, who's 1 for 2 with a single. He scored a run. Steps up from the right side. Bounces it down the third base line, but it is a foul ball. Strike 1. Inside off the plate, count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a line drive, bloop, but caught by the shortstop, Tatis Jr., for the first out of the inning. Nice play by the shortstop.
The first baseman, number 23.
Next up is Don Mattingly. He has an RBI single today. He's 1 for 2. Grounds it weakly to the third baseman on the infield grass, throws to first, and now there are 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th. So next up is Chris Ramos, the dangerous Chris Ramos, who carries to the plate 63 home runs. He's currently in 6th place all time. He's 1 for 2 with a single. His next home run will tie him with Sammy Sosa for 5th place all time. Pitches outside and low, ball 1. That ball is high. Back goes Benintendi to the track. On the warning track, he makes the catch to retire the side. Just missed number 64. So it's a 1-2-3 inning, and at the end of 5, the ball game is knotted at 3. I'm not spoiling. I haven't seen it. I just believe in you. I believe the Denver Broncos are going to go all the way. So Drew Mendoza leads off the top of the 6th. He's 1 for 2. Inside corner, strike 1, 98 on the radar gun. And he pulls the slider foul down the right field line. Foul ball, count is 0-2. Mendoza hit a 2-run homer in his today. The other way. Showed a lot of power. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's 1 away. Down on strikes. That's strikeout number 4 for Eli. Here's the replay, just blew the fastball right by him. So next up is Fernando Tatis Jr. 0 for 2. He struck out, he lined out. He is next year's cover boy for MLB The Show 21. And the slider is in there, strike 1. He has 33 homers and 94 runs batted in on this fictional season. And he's late on the slider. Count no balls and 2 strikes. Circle change floats in there, fouls it upstairs behind home plate. Count remains 0-2. And he's late on the fastball. And we'll do it again. So this is the second game of a 3-game set at Classic Yankee Stadium between these 2 ball clubs. The Seattle Mariners won yesterday 8-6. And it's a lazy fly ball to short center field. Over is LoCicero, and that's the 2nd out. So next up is the right fielder Gregory Polanco. Doubled in the 2nd, he's 1 for 2. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Ball game still tied at 3. Inside corner, strike 1. Fouls off the slider, strike 2. Swing and a miss. The circle change out in front, and the side is retired. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Eli. And after 5.5, the score is tied at 3. Oh wow, do they keep dirt on their uniforms from previous slides? That's a nice touch. No, the graphics in this game are just amazing. I used to play video games literally where they were like 8-bit graphics where you could barely tell that they were even human beings. Two right-handers warming up in the Mariners bullpen. Jairo Diaz and Victor Arano getting loose. Up there is Michael O'Rourke 0 for 2. And he fouls it upstairs behind home plate. The count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm just blown away by the level of graphics of video games. It's so photorealistic. Swing and a miss. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on O'Rourke. What makes it that much cooler for me is many of the players outside 2-2. Many of the players I've created and modeled after friends, co-workers, family, so on and so forth. So it's that much more significant. It's a line drive to right. It will drop in front of Polanco for a base hit. Leadoff single for Michael O'Rourke. So they're anonymous individuals to you guys watching, but to me, obviously, it has a little bit more significance. So the Seattle Mariners manager has seen enough. He's going to the bullpen. Takes the ball from Fried. Fried will leave with a no decision. He is responsible for the runner at first. So he cannot win. He can lose should that runner come around to score. So in relief for the Mariners is Adrian Hauser, making his 18th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 2-2 with a 4.87 earned run average. So stepping up to the plate, switching over to the left side against the righty Hauser is Jacob Salazar, 1 for 2 with a single. Pitches outside, ball 1. Runner at first, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Quick throw to first to keep O'Rourke close. He has 27 stolen bases. So he is a legitimate threat to steal that bag at second. Outside corner with the 2-seamer. Count as 1 ball and 1 strike. Jacob Salazar's 3 hits away from the magic number 200. Very doable with 4.5 games left. Just gets a piece of the 2-seam fastball. Count as 1 ball and 2 strikes on the switch hitter. O'Rourke leads off first. And he pops him up. On the outfield grass is Tatis Jr. He makes the catch for out number 1. So next up is Benny LoCicero. He has an RBI double today. He's 1 for 2. 1 out here in the 6th. Pitch out, but nothing doing. O'Rourke was not stealing the bag, so count as 1 ball and no strikes. It hit him. It hit him. Hit the batter, so it's free base. So now there'll be runners at first and second with only 1 out as Matthew Saps, who walked in the 4th. He's officially 0 for 1 today. So runners at first and second and 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Checks the swing. Throwing at third. He's out at third. Took a gamble and it did not pay off. So there's 2 away now. Bad decision. Bad decision. So now there's a runner at second base and 2 outs for Saps. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Swing and a miss. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitches outside the strike zone, 2 balls and 1 strike, according to the home plate umpire. Pitcher probably thought otherwise. And that's a deep drive. It is high. It is far. It hits the foul pole. It is gonzo. It's a 2-run home run for Matthew Saps, number 33 on the season. And just like that, the Bronx Knights have a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, yeah! Here's the replay. Boom! Right down the left field line. Had a chance to go foul at the last moment, but it's doink off of the foul pole net. So it's 5-3 Knights with 2 outs. Big 2-out, 2-run homer by Matthew Saps. Termini is up. Pitches out, tearing him up now. You got that right. 5-3 lead here in the 6th. Termini takes ball 1 outside. And that's a line drive. Base hit to left field. It rattles into the corner. He makes a big turn at first, heading to second. Throw to second is not in time. It is a 2-out double for Matt Termini. And now he's in scoring position as the inning continues. That's double number 35 on the season for Termini. Nice angle. I love this angle where you can see the flight of the ball. Never hesitated. Has good speed. Ball's coming in, not in time. So next up is Anthony Millo, the number 9 hitter. He's 0 for 2. He's 0 for 6 in this series. And he swings at the next pitch. It's a deep fly ball heading towards the right field gap. It is Gonzo. That's a 2-run home run for Anthony Millo, number 15 on the season. And he shows unexpected power. And just like that, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, it's 7-3 Bronx Knights lead. Oh, yeah! Yes, 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 yes. This is the 6th inning. It is the bottom of the 6th inning. Oh, I thought it was going to be in the gap or perhaps caught at the fence at the 385 sign. I did not expect it to be a home run. So that was nice to see. So 4 runs have crossed the plate. The manager of the Seattle Mariners has decided to make a change. Jairo Diaz comes in relief. His record is 2-3 with a 3.30 earned run average. Hoping to stop the bleeding. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Lukelich is now up again for his 4th plate appearance. He's 1 for 3. And he hits a line drive to center, but that one is playable for Shane Victorino. And just like that, the side is retired. But not before the Bronx Knights score 4 times. And at the end of 6 innings of play, it's Bronx Knights 7, Seattle Mariners 3. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This is a broadcast of Bronx Knights Baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, please, please. Leading off here in the top of the 7th is Freddie Freeman. He's 0 for 2. First pitch of the 7th. It is a lazy line drive, but right there is LoCicero in right for out number 1. Next up is Andrew Benintendi, who struck out twice today. He's 0 for 2. Pitch is low, slider out of the strike zone. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Breaking ball finds the zone. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramos only thrown 59 pitches. This next pitch will be pitch number 60. So very economical. Fouls off the fastball behind home plate. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And as you can see, the pitch count, 60 pitches. Just gets a piece of the split finger fastball to stay alive. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 7-3 lead for the Bronx Knights here at Yankee Stadium. And he pulls it foul, and we will do it again. And that's a line drive the other way, and it's going to be at the very least a double and perhaps more. O'Rourke tosses it back to the cutoff man. It is a 1-out double for Benintendi. Again, the shift was on, and he decided to hit it. They expected him to pull the ball, and he hit it the other way through the vacated left side of the infield. No one over there. Again, that's, you live by the shift, you die by the shift sometimes in baseball. So next up is Isan Diaz. He has a double today and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. He's a runner in scoring position with 1 out. And that's a line drive chasing in. Shoestring catch by O'Rourke. Nice play, and there are 2 outs. Nice running catch by the left fielder. So with 2 outs, Nicky Lopez steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 2. for the season, he only has 18 at-bats. Is there a typical number of pitches before a pitcher gets worn out, or does it vary pretty wide? Okay, so there are some, that's a good question. In past generations of baseball, they used to basically have pitchers go out there and throw until their arm fell off. And through science and study, they learned that there is a pitch limit that people have before their production starts to decline. Starting pitchers usually can only throw about 100 pitches before they fall off the side of a cliff. So they basically try to keep them within, oh, this is nice, in-game box score by the Seattle Mariners, very cool. So 100 pitches is a limit for what's known as a starting pitcher. And then the relief pitchers, they usually keep them to maybe 30, 40, 30 pitches before they decide to. It's all about what they train for. But never will you see a pitcher go more than 100 pitches these days in baseball. Good question, by the way. So next up is Nicky Lopez. He's 0 for 2. 2 outs. Mr. Kenny V, hey, thank you for showing up to the stream. It is Bronx Knights leading 7-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. As Nicky Lopez takes a strike on the inside corner. Strike one, of course, absolutely. By all means, it's let's face it, we stream because we love to interact with people and you know, obviously we love to play video games, obviously, or we wouldn't do this, but it takes another level of interactivity into it. You feel like you know, there are people in the room with you at the same time, so I enjoy it. By all means, if anyone has any questions about the game of baseball, by all means, feel free to ask. So the count is no balls and 2 strikes on Lopez. Runner is in scoring position at second base with 2 outs. And here comes the pitch from Eli. And he slices it out of play late on the fastball. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. It's a 4-run lead for the Knights. This is the second game of a 2-game series. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. So, get up and stretch, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. It's the Bronx Knights 7, Seattle Mariners 3. I had to take a good look at one point. I thought it was a real game, huh? Yeah, honestly, that's part of the fascination that I have with MLB The Show. It's just, it's such good graphics. The flow of the game is just so good. So here in the bottom of the 7th, Don Mattingly steps up. He's 1 for 3 today. Backdoor slider, strike 1. Jairo Diaz is out there for his 2nd inning of work. And that's a line drive headed towards the right center field gap. And it will bounce and roll all the way to the wall. He makes a turn at first, heads to second. It is a leadoff double for Don Mattingly and his 2nd hit of the ball game, as he's now in scoring position with double number 31 on the season. Here's the replay. Next up is the dangerous Chris Ramos. To those that don't know, Chris Ramos has 63 home runs, which is a legendary number. And unfortunately, he popped it up behind home plate, so it will remain 63 home runs. The catcher makes the catch for the first out of the inning. The runner does not advance from second, and there's 1 out.
Now batting, the left fielder.
Next up is Michael O'Rourke, who singled in the 6th inning. He is 1 for 3. Runner at second, 1 out. And he fouls off the 2-seam fastball, strike 1. Michael is 317 with runners in scoring position, which is actually lower than his season average. So, and he swings, and it's a shallow fly ball to center, but Shane Victorino makes the catch for the 2nd out. So Mattingly gets the double with nobody out, and now 2 quick outs, and he's still standing at second base. Mr. African Giant Gaming, thank you for joining me. This is Bronx Knights baseball. Bronx Knights are leading 7-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Up steps Jacob Salazar, and he hits a bloop base hit to center field. It will drop in there for a hit. Rounding third and heading home is the runner, and he will make it all the way to second on the RBI double by Jacob Salazar, and the score is now 8-3. Bronx Knights lead. Come on, show us that replay. Well, anyway, Salazar is at second in scoring position. It's a 5-run advantage now as LoCicero swings at the first pitch and drives it foul, out of play, strike 1. I really appreciate all the support, guys and gals. Very much appreciated. chases a high fastball and swings and misses, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Benny LoCicero. He is 1 for 2 today. Inside off the plate, goes to the backstop. Salazar races over to third, so he takes an extra base on the wild pitch by Diaz. Scorer's decision was it a wild pitch, so it was the pitcher's fault. Let's look at this. Oh, look, absolutely. Loving the commentary. Well, thank you very much, sir. I'm doing my best. I'm playing the game, and I'm calling the game. It's scratching 2 itches at once. Runners at third base, 90 feet away from scoring. Pitches outside the count, evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. 5-run lead here in the 7th. Benny. Strike 3 called. Benny does not like the call, but in any event, the side is still retired. So, at the end of 7, they get another run on the RBI by Jacob Salazar. The score is Bronx Knights 8, Seattle Mariners 3. Sam, commentary is great. LOL, yes, you are. You should be a commentator. Well, thank you very much, sir. I just do it for fun. It's something that it's an aspect of playing the game that I very much enjoy. It's practice makes perfect. It's, you know. Well, anyway, here we are in the top of the 8th inning. It's 8-3, Bronx Knights lead. Eli Ramos is still out there pitching. He's going for win number 22 on the season. Leading off is Israel Pineda, who is 0 for 1. Here comes the stretch and the delivery. Nope. Pitch is low, ball 1. Attendance 46,775 here at Classic Yankee Stadium. Classic Yankee Stadium was torn down in the year 2008 to make way for new Yankee Stadium that they built across the street in the Bronx, New York. Pitch is outside, count is 2 balls and no strikes on Pineda. As a kid, I went to Classic Yankee Stadium many times. Slow roller to the third baseman. Ramos fields, fires, got him, and there is 1 away. African Giant Gaming is a really cool stream. Those rest of you should check it out. He does a lot of racing games, very cool stuff. So check out his stream here on YouTube. So with 1 out in the top of the 8th, Shane Victorino, the leadoff man, the center fielder, is up again. He's 1 for 3 with a single today. And he slices it out of play, strike 1. Slow roller up the third base line, past the pitcher. Termini on the infield grass, throws to first in time, 2 away. Nice play by Termini at third base. Shane Victorino's got speed, so that's not an easy play. So with 2 outs, up steps Drew Mendoza, who's 1 for 3, but that 1 was a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. Showed a lot of power to the opposite field in that at-bat. And I have a feeling that this might be the last inning that we will see Eli Ramos pitch in this season, because I have a feeling somebody else is going to pitch in the 9th. Pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Then again, he only has 76 pitches, so it's something to think about. Oh, deep drive towards right center field. Back goes LoCicero, looking up. It's off the wall. Throws it back in, but by the time he does, it will be a 2-out double for Drew Mendoza. Double number 41 on the season. And they have a runner in scoring position now with 2 away. Deep drive. I thought it had a chance to go out. Sometimes the wind affects these deep fly balls, and even though the icon is on the wall, it'll sometimes go out. So next up, with a runner in scoring position, is Fernando Tatis Jr. We're going to the manager's office and the bullpen, and we're going to warm up, let's see, Dinelson LeMay will warm up, and we'll warm up Jesse Biddle, just in case things get out of control. Manager, I'm going to go to make a mound visit to give them a little time to get warm. Just a strategy. Tatis Jr.'s 0 for 3. So, Eli is still out there pitching. 5-run lead, runner at second, 2 away. The pitch misses outside, ball 1. Tatis Jr. in this 3-game series so far is 2 for 8 with a homer. 0 for 3 today, though. Slow roller up the middle and through. It is a base hit, rounding third and heading home is Drew Mendoza. It's an RBI single for Fernando Tatis Jr. and the score is 8-4. Bronx Knights lead. It's a nice 2-out hit, a ground ball with eyes. hit it off the end of the bat. Sometimes all you need to do is just hit it where the fielders aren't. Doesn't have to necessarily be a line drive. So next up is Gregory Polanco's 1 for 3 with a double. And that will be all for our starter, Eli Ramos. As the next three hitters, lefty, 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 Jesse Biddle, the left-handed pitcher, is coming in to pitch. So the 50-year-old version of Don Mattingly is the manager of the Bronx Knights. He makes the motion for the left hand out of the bullpen, takes the ball from Ramos. He's in a position to win. He's responsible for the runner on base, Tatis Jr. He can win, he cannot lose. And in relief is Jesse Biddle, making his 60th appearance out of the bullpen. His record is 2-3 with a 2.20 earned run average. He has 85 strikeouts and just under 70 innings pitched, so he's been very good this season. So Gregory Polanco, left-handed hitter against left-handed pitcher with 2 away. In there, strike 1, 97 on the radar gun. Gregory's 1 for 3 with a double today. And it's a shallow fly ball, but there is the center fielder, Lukelich, to make the catch and retire the side. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. They do pick up a run. And at the end of 8 innings of play, check that, 7.5 innings of play, it's the Bronx Knights 8, Seattle 4. So we'll now go to the bottom of the 8th. In relief for the Mariners is Victor Arano, making his 26th appearance. He's 5-3 with a 7.00 earned run average. 7 ERA. Leading off for the Bronx Knights is Matt Saps. He's 1 for 2 today. Right-hander against right-handed batter. Swings out in front of the breaking ball, strike 1. Checks his swing, finds the corner, so the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Matt Saps. Matt Saps usually plays DH. Today he's at shortstop. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Mr. Saps. He is down on strikes. Arano's first strikeout of the ball game. Nasty pitch. So next up with 1 away, here in the bottom of the 8th, is Matt Termini. Matt Termini has an RBI double today. He's 1 for 2. Pitch outside, ball 1. It's a 4-run lead for the Bronx Knights. Second game of a 3-game set here at Yankee Stadium between these 2 ball clubs. Pitches on the outside corner. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. The strike. The Seattle Mariners won game 1 of this 3-game series. Swing and a miss out in front of the slider. Nasty slider on the corner. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. He brought his A game out of the bullpen today. Outside, count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So, Bronx Knights have 103 wins on the season. They're chasing the Tampa Bay Rays for best record in the American League. And it's a deep drive. Back goes Benintendi to the track. On the warning track, makes the catch for out number 2. So Termini gave it a ride, but unfortunately, it's just a long out, and there are 2 away. Next up is Anthony Millo. Anthony Millo had a 2-run home run in his last at-bat in the 6th. Big hit in the context of this ball game. Out in front of that nasty slider, strike 1. Inside off the plate, count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And it's a deep drive, but playable. On near the warning track is Benintendi. He makes the catch to retire the side. So, we go to the top of the 9th. Last licks for the Seattle Mariners. They need 4 runs to tie. It's 8-4. Bronx Knights lead. Let's do this. So, we're in the 9th inning. Leading off for the Mariners is Freddie Freeman. He is 0 for 3. Jesse Biddle's in there for his 2nd inning of relief work. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Fouls off the two-seam fastball. Count is 0-2 on Freeman. Freeman in real life plays for the Atlanta Braves. Just gets a piece of the curveball. Do you used to play baseball as well? Yes, actually, I did. In all honesty, I love to play baseball. I'm terrible at it because it's a very fast game to play. There's a kind of a slower version of baseball called softball. You may see college athletes, female college athletes, play it. In the inner cities in America, in the United States, men play softball on like concrete schoolyards. It's a slower game with a bigger ball. It's basically the same rules, but it's easier to handle because baseball, honestly, is a really difficult game to play unless you have that kind of talent. The count is 0 balls and 2 strikes on Freddie Freeman. Swing and a miss at the outside, chases the slider, and there is 1 away here in the 9th. Stay tuned for the post-game highlights. So next up is the right fielder Benintendi, who's hit a double today. He's 1 for 3. It's 1 out here in the 9th. Biddle sets and delivers. Inside corner, strike 1. Tried to check it, but couldn't. And quickly, he's got 2 strikes on Benintendi. Just gets a piece. Count is 0 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, that's good to know. I never knew what the difference. Yeah, basically, softball is it's a larger, softer ball. The field, the bases, the distance between the bases are smaller, and sometimes softball you can play on a dirt field or on an asphalt or concrete surface. And to be honest with you, there are people that love baseball that just aren't athletic enough to play baseball. They'd play softball instead. I've played softball most of my life because, to be completely honest, baseball's a hard game. I'll go to like a batting cage and be able to hit a baseball fired out of at high speeds, but the athleticism you need for this game is just Also, it feels like I'm just watching ESPN the way you're commentating. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Kenny V. I appreciate that, and thank you to everyone who joined the stream. Please, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Much appreciated. So the count is 0 balls and 2 strikes on Andrew Benintendi here in the top of the 9th. 4-run lead for the Bronx Knights. Fouls off the fastball. The count remains 0-2. And he files off the slider. Staying alive, trying to battle it out. Doesn't want to be that second out of the inning. And he pulls it towards the dugout. Count remains 0 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss at the curveball. And that strikeout, I believe strikeout, that is out number 2 here in the top of the 9th, which means the Seattle Mariners are down to their final out of the game. Representing that final out of the game is Isan Diaz, who has a double today. He's 1 for 3. Ground ball to Mattingly. He takes it himself, steps on the bag, side retired, ball game over. Bronx Knights win 8-4. So in this 3-game series at Yankee Stadium against the Seattle Mariners, they split the first 2 games, 1 game apiece. That is win number 104 on the season. Now with 4 games left in the regular season, they're 104-54. They're chasing the Tampa Bay Rays, which is a team in the American League East for the best record in the American League. Best record in the American League gets home field advantage throughout the playoffs, so it is especially important. We're going to do some scoreboard watching to see if the Tampa Bay Rays win or lose at the conclusion of this game. So let's do this the right way. So, Bronx Knights, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Seattle Mariners, 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Eli Ramos gets the win in his final start of the regular season. He has 22 wins and 5 losses. The 22 wins lead the American League. He is the odds-on favorite to win what's known as the Cy Young Award for the American League. Adrian Hauser, a relief pitcher, gets the loss. And Anthony Millo, the catcher behind the plate, the number 9 hitter, with a homer and 2 RBIs, is your player of the game. And this has been a broadcast of Bronx Knights baseball. I am RC Robbin. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video. Please subscribe. If baseball is not necessarily your cup of tea, check out some of my other playlists. I've played a game called Control. I've played something called The Last of Us 2. I'm currently playing something called Skyrim. Thank you, Mr. Outlander. I very much appreciate it. You know, I happen to love baseball, but there's lots of stuff on there. There's also something on there called Dungeons and Dragons. It's not a video game. It's a tabletop role-playing game where a group of my friends get together and we play a pen and paper tabletop role-playing game. We throw dice, we talk out scenarios. It's a lot of fun. It's very different from video games, but it's, you know, it's interesting. There's a Dungeons and Dragons playlist. I'd love it if you check it out. In any event, here at Yankee Stadium, the final, Bronx Knights win 8-4. So, just before I sign off, D&D and Skyrim streams are both amazing. Thank you, Batley. Your D&D stream is off. Thank you, Quixotic. Dungeon stream is insane. If you think his commentary here is good, well, you know what? You guys honestly making my day. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad I logged on a little early. Loving it, man. Go Bronx. Thank you, guys. Have yourselves an absolute great afternoon. I'm going to probably play another baseball game later on in the evening after dinner here on the East Coast of the United States. But I need to take a breather, get some food, have some dinner with the wife, so on and so forth. I'm definitely going to play again. Hopefully I will see some of you again soon. If not, have yourselves a great night and take care of yourselves.